Hello and good evening to everyone present here and to those that are connected online. I extend a warm welcome to all of you here today for this special occasion. My name is Harsh Borude and I am a second year undergraduate student and a student member at Students Alumni Cell, and I shall be your host for tonight. Today we are honored to have with us our esteemed director, Professor Virendra Kumar Tiwari, our Deputy Director, Professor Amit Patra, and our Associate Dean, Alumni Affairs and International Relations, Professor Devashish Chakravarti, and all the Deans and Associate Dean Professors and soon-to-be alumni. We are also honored to have some distinguished guests with us tonight. Commander V.K. Jetli, who is a distinguished alumni and also the former president of IIT Kharagpur Alumni Foundation, India. We have with us Mr. Raja Venkatraman, who is our alumni and the president of IIT Kharagpur Alumni Foundation, India. And we also have Dr. Ashok K. Desarkar, who is the president of IIT KGP Foundation, USA. And we also have Mr. Nirmal Bharadwaj. Moving forward, I would like to call our Associate Dean, Alumni Affairs and International Relations, Professor Devashish Chakravarti, to address the students.
Respective Director Sir, Professor V.K. Tiwari, Deputy Director, Professor Amit Patra, Mr. Raja Venkatraman, President IT Foundation India, Mr. Nirmal Bharadwaj, the distinguished alumni, and Chairman ACB IIT at Bangalore, and in online mode, Commander Jetli, the distinguished alumni and also associated with IIT Kharagpur in advisory role with different activities. Dr. Ashok Desarkar, President IIT Kharagpur USA Foundation. And Meenakshi, the Executive Director of IIT Kharagpur USA Foundation. My faculty colleague, I can see Professor Sominda, welcome, and dear friends. Like every year, Alvida 2024 is on now, and I welcome all the passing out students of 2024 IIT Kharagpur fraternity to, succeed and lead a successful life. You are going to join IIT Kharagpur Alumni Group, which is the largest of all the IITs till date, and our count is more than 80K. So you should be happy and you should be able to, utilize all the possible support that the Alumni and International Affairs Office, International Relations Office can provide you. To update you on this for the first time, we are trying to get you connected with the two presidents of the foundation, and we will also have a small deliberation from Mr. Nirmal Bharadwaj explaining some motivational schemes. Additionally, we have Commander Jetli, who is all known to you, is a motivational speaker. He is also, in addition to that, having a plan to help IIT Kharagpur be self-reliant. Going to tell you about a new program of Guru Dakshina, which has been instantiated in January 2024. So we will have a plethora of things in a very time-squeezed manner. This online and hybrid mode will be for 1 hour duration. We got 1 hour, so we have to wind up by 8:30. So without taking any further time, I welcome you all for the event and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Moving forward, I would like to invite Commander V.K. Jetli to address the students.
Thank you very much. My dear students, those who are passing out, the time for Alvida has come. You spent 4 years, or maybe 5 years, or maybe MTech 2 years. These are the times which you are going to remember throughout your life. I'm sure about that. We do remember till today. I passed out in the year 1979. The moment we hear about IIT KGP, our tempo becomes very high. And that is true with everybody. In my case, of course, I keep visiting IIT Kharagpur very often. So I'm still connected, but even those who have not visited their alma mater for so many years since they passed out, even now they have a lot of attachments with their alma mater. And all of them, they have a desire also, let me tell you, to do something for their alma mater. And there was no specific provision how to help. So after debating with the US Foundation, India Foundation, with the senior alumni, with the professors, with director, deputy director, dean alumni, we came up with an idea, the age-old idea in the Indian ancient culture of Guru Dakshina. Though there is no specific Guru as such today, but then here I consider our IIT Kharagpur as our Guru in a collective manner. So the word Guru Dakshina, I said, should be accepted as a mode of giving back to our alma mater. And what should it be? In what format it should be? So there has to be two parts. One part is when a student is passing out from IIT KGP, that time he is expected to give Guru Dakshina. But then he is not earning as of today. He will start earning very immediately in the near future. Now some students may be having some commitment with their family. Sister का शादी करना है, घर बनाना है, पिताजी रिटायर हो गए हैं, लोन देना है. So he says, by immediately I will not be able to give back to my college. But yes, once I start earning maybe in my second year, maybe third year, or maybe fourth year, I would like to contribute to my alma mater. Perfectly fine. So, at the time of passing out, my request to all of you, those who are attending in person or those who are attending online, my request to all of you is, you just sign on a piece of paper that's a pledge, that I take a pledge to contribute my 1 month's salary or my 1 month's income. And those who are going to have their own startups, even they say, okay, the moment my profit crosses 1 crore per year, I will just donate 1% of that. Only 1%. So that in Guru Dakshina we have kept a ceiling of the minimum ceiling, not the maximum ceiling. There is no upper limit. A person like Sundar Pichai, his salary may be in, some 50 lakhs or 30 lakhs, I don't know, per month. So he also donates his 1 month salary. I, as a pensioner, I donated 1,24,000 the day it was launched in Netaji Auditorium. And so did our director. And so did the pledge was given by our deputy director and the deans also. So all those alumni who have already passed out, they may be there in the 50th year or 60th year, they are also expected to donate their 1 month's income, even those who have retired, maybe from their benefits which they are getting, or they may be having some fixed deposits or whatever income they are getting. So the minimum ceiling has to be 1 lakh, there is no upper ceiling. So all these people will donate, those who have already passed out. Those who are passing out like all of you, you just give a pledge today that I would like to give my first salary. In case your background is perfectly fine, you don't have a very big commitment, you say the very first salary I will give it to IIT Kharagpur, perfectly fine. And you get a beautiful certificate, you can keep it as a part of your testimonials, you can put it in your cabin where you are there, so that everybody else is also inspired from you. Oh yeah, this man has given Guru Dakshina to his alma mater, that's great. Or if you have got some commitments, you just pledge, okay, in my 2nd year or 3rd year or 4th year I'll give it. Just only 1 month's salary. You know, we are going to work for 40 years or maybe 50 years. What are you giving? Just 1 month's salary, that's all. And that I expect from the existing alumni also, which number is around 60,000. I tell you, we don't have Nandan Nilekhani, who donated 400 crores for his alma mater. We don't have. But collectively, we can become much bigger than that, much bigger. The only thing is, we have to work for that, we have to push for that, we have to spread the word around. Only then this will become successful. So with that, I appeal once again, kindly join Guru Dakshina. Before you leave IIT Kharagpur, I request each one of you to kindly sign that piece of one paper, and you will be awarded a certificate on the spot, signed by Director Saab. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence and wisdom. Now we have Dr. Manilal Bhaumik, who was the first person to receive a doctorate from the IIT system globally, and he will address the gathering.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Also thank the organizer of this August event. My heartfelt congratulations goes to the freshly minted IIT KGP graduates. I'm sure all of you know that you are highly privileged with a stamp of IIT in your back, because the IIT brand is recognized now all over the world, starting at Silicon Valley. Now it's Europe, Asia, everywhere you go, the IIT graduates invariably have a high spot in life, and I'm sure that the hard work you have put in to get that brand name behind you would be successful. And thank you again for asking me to give a farewell address to you and on your journey. The technical skill of the graduates are abundantly sought after everywhere. Surprisingly, their entrepreneurial skills shine through gloriously, starting in the Silicon Valley of California. Quite a few has been very successful in improving venture capital as well, especially in the Silicon Valley. I was fortunate to be the first PhD of the IIT system, and that was an experience that I still remember vividly. My journey from there on has been quite a ride. It was Nehru's dream, as you know, to make IIT the MIT equivalent of India, and that dream has come true to a large extent, and I was fortunate to be the first group of graduate students to enter the PhD program at IIT KGP. And after I arrived there, I was really stunned to see the cosmopolitan atmosphere for the first time in my life, because that was the only IIT at the time. So all the bright students came from all over India, as well as the faculty at the time also consisted of professors from quite a few countries abroad, England, Germany, Russia, America, and it was really truly a cosmopolitan atmosphere, and I felt enchanted on my journey to get my PhD after having my master's degree from famous S.N. Bose of boson fame. And the experience, of course, was a little harder because when I arrived there, I was given an empty lab. I said, what are the equipments? And they said, well, it's up to you. You have to order them, set it up. And so I started from the ground up, actually, in a sense. I had one consolation, that from my lab, I could see the old Hisley jail that has become the main part of the campus, where my father was interned as a political prisoner fighting to get rid of India's shackles of colonialism. So in a way, it was really a quantum leap in my life, a big one, coming from a poor village boy with no shoes until I was 14, to be featured in the popular television show of Robin Leach called Lifestyle of the Rich and Famous. And I would say there was quite a series of quantum leaps, beginning the first one to have my brand name of to have the brand name of IIT in my back. So thank you, IIT. Thank you, the organizers. And I like to again express my gratitude to IIT as well as my congratulations to the newly minted graduates. I got my PhD, but did not have any money to go abroad because with the IIT stamp, I received a Sloan Foundation fellowship to come to UCLA. I started my work as a laser scientist and eventually got into the famous Northrop Corporation of Los Angeles. And with a talented group that I led, being the head of the Laser Technology Laboratory, we were able to invent the first excimer laser that eventually led to the development of photolithography that is essential for manufacturing the microchips that are used in all the devices of personal computer as well as the display devices, and more importantly, with the ubiquitous iPhone that we have everywhere in the world today. In fact, there are as many iPhones today as there are people. And that is quite a challenge to manufacture of those. And fortunately, the photolithography that is possible with the help of laser, excimer laser, short wavelength laser, is the one that makes it possible to put 16 billion transistors in almost every cell iPhone that we use. So you can imagine that's how useful it has been, in addition to its use in the LASIK surgery, which is quite popular, especially among young people who doesn't like the contact lens. I want to especially mention one particular fact in my life. As an impressionable teenager, I had the opportunity to live with Mahatma Gandhi in his camp for a week, and I saw every minute of what the famous great man was doing. It was sure to notice that he believed everything needs hard work, nothing is possible sitting around, and every minute he was working hard, and also at the same time he instilled in me that hard work and talent that you all have will bring you prosperity. Technology is here and growing. In fact, we live in a global technological village that has been possible with the invention of transistors in 1947, the year India became free. And now we have personal computer and all the AI capability, along with quantum computer being developed. The future really is glorious for humankind. But we cannot be happy just by getting rid of our poverty, which I can personally attest to that. I thought when I became financially free with my stock options from Northrop Corporation, I thought I'll live happily ever after. But I realized that true happiness really comes from inside, as our father of the country, Mahatma Gandhi, taught us. And before that, actually, it came from the Vedic rishis, intellectuals of the past, way past, who realized that a abstract source actually with invisible hands controls everything in a general way. This was something they intuited, and they came to the realization experientially, and they called it the Brahma, which is formless, abstract, but at the same time, it is real. That was that experience. But fortunately, with the development of science, with the quantum field theory, towards the end of the 20th century, we now have real scientific proof that that experience is really supported by experiments you can do to prove to yourself. Quantum fields are abstract. They're the ultimate elements of reality exposed to us so far, but they also inseparably intertwine way controls and administers everything in this universe. That was an intuitive process before, but now really you can scientifically prove that. And I actually wrote a book which has been a bestseller in the world, so to speak, especially in India, published by Penguin, called Code Name God. There I documented how the quantum fields, abstract quantum fields, being everywhere, is making us realize that humanity is of each other. It seems a little strange to you probably that how can an abstract substance can control our activity? Well, look at yourself in your daily life. We are all material bodies, but there is abstract gravity that is everywhere, controlling our own movement, as well as movements of everything. So there is a proof that you can see that totally abstract entity can indeed permeate everything and thereby control it. We just have to go a little bit deeper to the arena of the quantum fields towards the fabric of space. That actually still providing all our guidance that comes instinctively to us. This was a dream that Einstein, the most famous scientist of all time, had, that everything in this universe comes from one source. And that was his dream the last 30 years of his life. He only worked on how to unify all the forces and fields and how to show that everything comes from one source. He was unsuccessful mostly because to him reality is only classical. But what we now find out, that ultimate reality of quantum fields are actually abstract but real. If he would have accepted that, he would, I'm sure that with his genius, he would have come to that unification. But now today, there is very few physicists or scientists who doesn't believe that everything comes from one source. We have been already able to construct what we call the standard model of particle physics that predicts 24 elements of reality, which are all quantum, plus the gravity. So far, we have been pretty much combined most of those 24 elements, and it's depicted in the standard model of particle physics. And every force and every particle has an underlying quantum field from which it arises, and they're all abstract. They're all going through everything throughout the universe, and strangely enough, it is very active, always alive, yet on an average, it has remained exactly the same since almost the beginning of time. This is something Max Planck intuited that only could be possible if the universe is self-aware. At the time of his perception of this reality, we had no idea that this could be scientifically proven. I wrote an article recently and uploaded in the preprint server archive to show that even though Max Planck, the godfather of quantum, didn't know at the time, but intuited that the universe has to be self-aware. To quote him in an interview with the London Times, he said, "I believe consciousness is primary, matter is a derivative of consciousness." Does that resonate with the discoveries experientially of our intellectual ancestor, the Vedic rishis, the Brahma? I would say so, and I believe that that actually shows that technology will help us get rid of the poverty forever from this world. But to be happy, really happy, we have to dive inward, because as again Mahatma Gandhi said, happiness is an inside job. I hope with that I happily send you on your journey, and my humble advice that nothing good happens unless you work hard. But you have to really actually like what you're doing to work hard, otherwise you'll be bored. And so working hard is essential for success, and looking inward and realizing our place, that we all humanity of each other, is essential for our success. Thank you, and a great journey, a great look forward for you from now on, with the stamp of IIT behind your back. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Now, I would like to invite Mr. Raja Venkatraman to address the gathering.
Thanks to the director, deputy director, and the associate dean for giving me this platform to talk to you. I've been informed today to talk to you. It's my pleasure. While IIT tells you Alvida, we in IIT Alumni Foundation tell you, as alum, you are welcome. We welcome you. Okay. None of you would have had a difficult life like me. I had spinal bifida from birth, and I had seizure many times. Despite all that, I could be a specialist on super tall towers like Burj Khalifa and world's tallest tower, 1 kilometer tall Saudi Arabia tower. I could also be a coach in the table tennis state team and the World Cup, World Championship. If I could do it, all of you would be able to do it a lot better than me. you all came from very simple life background. It's a comfort of home. You came here and you adjusted yourself to some of the difficult conditions away from home. And then you groomed yourself so well and found comfort. Now you're getting into the challenging world outside. You'll be able to succeed very well. Like the way Dhoni, Kohli, all those people came from very simple background and succeeded big time. But when you all succeed big time, don't forget this second home, IIT Kharagpur. You are going to think about IIT Kharagpur when you are in big times. What has happened is, as IIT Kharagpur Alumni Foundation, this has been supported by a lot of good alums. You know, as a matter of fact, whatever you see around, if you see VG SOM is a short form. It's Vinod Gupta School of Management. Many of you might know, might not know. Vinod Gupta is one of the alums who have been supported very well. Similarly, Ron Gupta, he's got a school. Similarly, you have Arjun, you have Anand, and you have Ashok Dey Sarkar, you know, having a petroleum department. And you have Subir, you have Partho, you have Gopal. All these people have been supporting, you know, out of their good heart and thinking about IIT as, I don't know whether they think of it as a second home or as first home. You know, you people should think alike when you go out and you're on a good wicket. Now, there has been a lot of good support coming from IIT alumni. It could be mutual. A lot of recruitment can happen. You people can look up to some of the senior alums and find your, you know, footing when you go to a new place. When we were in Dubai, a lot of people used to come and we used to help them out find their place, footing, you know. And there have been a lot of collective support that we were able to do during COVID times, during you know, renovation of the halls that are going on in Nehru Hall or SN Hall or VS Hall. All these renovations are going on because of the good heart of the alum. You know, actually IIT Kharagpur needs your support. Don't forget that. And there has been a lot of a lot of classrooms have been built. As you know, there have been batch endowments to build classrooms, and you know, even halls. A lot of halls have been done with the help of you know, alum. Now, I would stop here and expect that all of you would go to the nearest chapter. IIT Kharagpur Alumni Foundation has got almost about 15-16 chapters. They've got US Foundation that Asokda will talk to you about, and that's a huge chapter. And we have in India, we have in different locations, we have chapters. Singapore we have, Dubai we have, and many other locations you have. So you approach those chapters, become a member, you will have a lot of, you know, kind of interaction with fellow alums, and it's a give and take. And you give some, you take some, okay? So keep in touch with the chapters, keep in touch with the foundation, and try and give back to the society, try and give back to the nation, try and give back to IIT Kharagpur. Vande Mataram. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence and wisdom. Moving forward, I would like to extend a sincere invitation to Mr. Ashok Dey Sarkar to address the students. Your insights and knowledge would be highly valued by the student community.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
yes,
they
sir.
can, Ashok.
Okay. So here we go. Good morning in Houston and good evening in Kharagpur. So I'm going to talk to you for in 2 5-minute segments. The first segment in general, what I'll tell you that it's kind of an important day for all of you, and it is a write-up that my friend Meenakshi put it together with my help, not the other way around, and it really summarizes our thought. So this part, I'll read it. So today marks a significant milestone in your journey, one that signifies not an end, but a new beginning. As you stand on the cusp of a new chapter in your lives, I extend to you the warmest of welcomes to the distinguished global fraternity of IIT Kharagpur. By that, global means in every segment of this world we have a chapter. And be part of that, like Raja just said. Get connected. Then I know that you have faced many challenges, which I did. The toughest course that probably I took in IIT Kharagpur was a 50 marks course called statics. I said, what the hell is this? But I overcame that and I got an A. So you will face such challenges, the minor challenges, when you get to the real world. And, but what IIT Kharagpur has taught you is not to learn a subject, but how to learn a subject, any subject. And I think that will give you a fantastic idea of how to cope up with life. It also gives you diversity. You met a people in the Indian context, you're not just eating, some Bengali food, but all kinds of food, all kinds of culture, all kinds of people. Some of them are a little, different than others, but that diversity is a pre-learning, preamble to your real diversity when you get to the working world. If you go to the different countries, different places, different provinces in India, and you must respect those diversity. It is the diversity that brings you wealth. In the context of Monida's talk, this talk, diversity in your heart, is not something physical. You cannot see it, but you can feel it. And then, going back to that, I think that when you get to the real world, you will embark on some fantastic goals that is going to be difficult to achieve, but you must try and work hard. So I would say that each and every one of you, welcome to the esteemed ranks of the IIT Kharagpur alumni. May you continue to strive for excellence, not may, must. And maybe you continue to push the boundaries of knowledge, and maybe you can continue to make your alma mater proud. So congratulations, and be proud of yourself. So that's the part that Meenakshi helped me to write, and I wanted to read to you because I seem to blabber when I talk. So this is a clear message. Be proud of yourself, of your country, of your parents. The next, I give a motivational speech. I have a company in Houston, and I give a motivational speech whenever I go see my employees, or, I am asked to give a motivational speech here and there. So I say just 3-4 slides, which I don't have it, but I'll tell you. Number one, must follow safety in life. If you are not safe, you are not worth it. You are not worth it, you are neglecting your family's well-being. Be safe. In every workplace today, workplace is very complicated. Second is be kind. This is super important. Just because you have a big job, big something, and all that doesn't make a difference. Be humble, be kind, especially to people who are elderly and people who are unfortunate. You must be kind. Otherwise, again, you are not worth it. And the last one is a continuous improvement. In every facet of life, if you have a continuous improvement, all the statistics Five Sigma and all those things I understand. It simply means a continuous improvement. Think from the day you graduate, and 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you continue to improve. How much worth you are. It's unbelievable. And then finally I say something that is a little controversial. Create lofty goals that is so lofty that you cannot achieve it. If you achieve those goals, that means your goals were not lofty. Create these lofty goals, so difficult, but you will achieve it. Look at Manibhumi, look at Raja, look at Commander, So then I was going to quote a few words from few fantastic people in our society. Number one is Tagore. He said, never be provincial, be universalism, follow universalism. So Tagore said something like that. Then Swamiji Vivekananda said, leave a mark. Everywhere you go, they should think that this guy was here, he left a mark. And they'll remember that. And last but not the least is Gandhiji. Manibhumi just said this. If you go to Sabarmati Ashram in Ahmedabad, in which he wrote with Tagore together, if you do not work, you have no rights. Simple. And that's what Manibhumi was telling, working hard. Gandhiji said, along with Tagore, in one speech, if you don't work, you have no rights. Talk is not good enough. We know the problems of that. Talk is not good enough for me. Okay. So then the last one I'm going to say that I used to go to a country, like I told Meenakshi, 50 times in Japan. And every time the Japanese owner of my company would remind me the difference between Japanese and Indians. What is the difference? Do you know? Every day morning when they get up and they have a prayer. You know what the prayer is? They thank Siddhartha. But they follow our ideology. But what is the difference in Japanese society and Indian society? Indians think of themselves as first and the country as second. That is completely unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. They have to think the country first and their individual second, distant second. That's the only way the country can progress. Country become cleaner, less bureaucracy, less corruption, everything falls into that. And then finally, be proud of being Indian. I don't come to the United States, and we have a typical tendency in India to follow some research that is happening in Stanford, MIT. I do not believe in those things at all. I don't care what Stanford does. I want to see what India does. Have basic grassroots research in India, not what they do in Stanford, and we give them some backup data. It is unacceptable. And then finally, having said all that, anytime you need, just call me. My number is 713-962-8039. Thank you. Okay?
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words. Next, I would like to invite one of our distinguished alumni, Mr. Nirmal Bharadwaj, the chairman of ACB IIT Bangalore, to address the students.
Honorable Director, sir, Honorable Deputy Director, sir, my colleagues, Honorable Associate Dean, Professor Devashri Chakravarti, sir, friends, colleagues, gentlemen and ladies. We are running short of time, and I'm conscious of every second because that is the most precious resource that all of us have. But I would not be out of the place if I say and adhere to that I would not speak to you for more than 3 minutes. and that's not asking too much. Today is the day when you have added a credential in your CV, curriculum vitae, which you would be proud of for the rest of your life. And that is your BTech honors, your dual degree, your master's, PhD, etc., whatever you have achieved on this day of your completion of your course. Trust you me. You will always be proud of it. I'm aware of the fact that on one side, India is becoming 5 trillion economy, 10 trillion economy. We are on the path of a Viksit Bharat on one side. And other side, I also read that a large number of people are not getting employed. Trust you me is a blip in the system. There is no problem. You are created not to be employees. You are created to be employers. Today, the whole world always is valuing critical thinking, innovations, creating new enterprises, hybrid knowledge. And that is something you have learned on the very first day that you came to this institute. You have not done the rote learning for the facts that are taught you. You have done and questions and introspected the underlying assumptions of every theory that was taught you. You have a mind to recreate and create the hybrid knowledge, which there are very, very few people in this 8 billion populace of the world. Let me tell you, going forward, you don't need somebody to give you a job, to give you a salary on the first week of every month. You are like a doctor who would now be proffering solutions as you go outside in the world and will perhaps be consultant, advisor, director on multiple companies at the same time, and you would also be obviously ensuring, because of your ethics and conduct, that there is no conflict of interest. That's your career. Your career is not a designation and a vertical hierarchy which will go up with 5% salary increase. I don't need to tell you. You will be shocked to know that the median salary of so-called some of the MNCs is something which very soon you would perhaps offer as a CSR to some of the foundations and so on. So be proud of it. And let me remind you something very fundamental. And that is a small anecdote. I was watching on the YouTube Warren Buffett's annual general meeting. And what I saw, Chris Munger, who unfortunately died at the age of 99 years as a vice chairman, Mr. Warren Buffett, who is now touching 94 years, and we had the vice chairman, Mr. Amit Jain. And guess what? The press reporter asked Mr. Warren Buffett, what would you like to comment about your vice chairman? And he, in his typical style, said, I had asked Amit Jain's parents that, do you have only one Amit, or do you have another child? I want to convey you a message that all of you are figuratively Amit Jains of the world. Your parents, your family, your own effort is something that you need to be proud of, but yet very humble. You will not realize it today, but as you step out of this institute, you are having now a collective family of 80,000 alumni of this institute. And trust you me, whoever you will give a call or send a message will meet you as if he's your family member. Your biggest asset from this institute is your faculty. The amount of love and affection that I get from my faculty, my honorable director, my honorable deputy director, our deans, they make me feel so loved and cared that I have no words to explain. And let me tell you, no alum can create maybe some centers. This institution is a national heritage, is a sovereign wealth. You can't acquire these institutions. Somebody gave an example that somebody contributed 400 crores. This institute cannot be named on the name of any alumni. Remember this. This institution is a temple of learning. This is our sovereign wealth. You can only come and worship here and augment its stature. Never ever make a mistake that you can ever own anything. You can create a collage of various centers of learning and so on and have your name, no problem. But this citadel, this institution will always be at a pedestal that you have to all work towards worshipping and taking it forward. And last thing that I would want to say is that this institution has groomed you not only as a professional, it has also taught you some very fundamental ethics and values. Professionalism will have to go along with integrity. Your greed for money, by hook or crook, must always be disbanded and abhorred and rejected outright. So you have to work towards not only furthering yourself, furthering your families, and since this institute is a part of your extended family, please always remain an integral part of this institution and work towards that. And the world outside, 8 billion people are waiting for your contribution, trans-geographies, trans-borders, in a hybrid knowledge across the fields that you can think of. It is no longer standalone silos of knowledge. It is the osmotic sharing of knowledge which seamlessly flows across, and there are no better people than, in my mind, other than the group that is sitting here. IIT does not become an IIT by giving a name of an IIT. IIT is an institution which has its ethos and values and which has evolved over decades. And IIT Kharagpur continues to be the mother of all IITs. Please remember that any pilot project, any experimentation, and a successful experimentation of an IIT as a system happened on this ground. And we continue. I wouldn't be surprised if I were to tell you that if you were to do a regression analysis and tell me all other IITs put together cumulatively, when will they reach the number of 80,000? And we already stand there. Your job is not to look at what salary I am getting. As I told you before, we have not only to rise and become a number one IIT, but it has to manifest by itself. And for us at this magnitude and size, to have that stature, that position, do you know that how many vice chancellors have this institute created? People across the Atlantic talk about University of California, San Diego. That gentleman is a student of Professor Amit Patraji from Department of Electrical Engineering. What we forget, that this is a fountain of knowledge. The genesis of a lot of things which we all very pleasurably look at started from here. And I must tell you, Vice Chancellor of San Diego told me the other day, he said, if I knew that India was going to be at this point, he wouldn't have left the country. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, you are God's gifted children. Our faculty, our culture, our value system has made you a very, very unique person, which you may perhaps feel it or may not feel it now, but trust you me, is going to remain with you for the rest of your life. And reach out to us. I live in Bangalore, and believe you me, I have nothing more precious than this institute. Even my family. For me, the most important is, and the most precious is, this extended family. And please count on me as an individual, one among the 80,000 people, and let's work together, raising the stature of this institution. Let's set an example to the rest of the world. Viksat Bharat at the rate of 2047, in the year 2047, 100 years after our independence. You are the contributor. We don't have to be in awe of the nations of somewhere else. Please understand this. The trajectory, the way our economy is growing at nearly 8%, we will surpass all the green bucks that you see. So please, it is all in our mind. Even in the past, India was one of the richest and the wealthiest country, both in terms of knowledge and in terms of economy. People often talk about Silk routes. Do not lose patience. Job is no big deal. And I'm telling you right here, any one of you has now a free access to reach out to me, and any help that you need from Bangalore will be given to you pro bono. And it doesn't matter whether 5,000 of you write to me, I'll make sure that within 24 hours I come back to you. Thank you very much. Go out and Make sure that IIT Kharagpur, what it was created for, continues to be. It lies on you and me. Many names you heard. I must tell you one thing. With the help of our present director, sir, when I saw that I don't have millions of dollars to give, with my intellect and my mind, I raised a funding of 8.96 crore. And right here in this institution, we have an agri-business incubation center. And thanks to our honorable director's help, he guided me, he helped me, we made the report, we met NABARD, and today we have created center. You can create multiple Section 8 companies in this campus. Your intellect, your ability to do things is your biggest wealth. Don't underestimate it. You don't have to have a huge bank account to really do well. It is not your 1 month salary. It is somewhere give this institution a place in your heart and in your mind. And remember, like you think of your siblings, you think of your parents, think, I have another family waiting for me all the time, and they are your younger students here. Help them in every possible way. And I welcome you to the largest fraternity as you transcend from students to alums. Look forward to interacting more with you, and best of luck. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir, for your kind words. Now, I would like to welcome on stage the Deputy Director, Professor Amit Patra, to say a few words.
Director Professor Tiwari, distinguished alumni, Nirmalji, Rajaji, Ashokda, Jetli Saab, and Minakshi, other faculty members on the audience, Professor Devashish, and all the students who are graduating, and all those who are also volunteering to see them off today. So the time of graduation is always a painful one. In fact, I am the last man to give you any advice on passing out and going outside of the institute, because I never did. In fact, I always stayed back in this place, and so now we are reaping the benefits. Like, you know, our seniors are coming and, you know, addressing us as sir. You know, it was so nice and little, you know, outwardly to hear Nirmal Da, who is 5 years senior to me, is calling me as Deputy Director sir. You know, so that was nearly small, you know, returns that we get. And of course, you know, our alumni and all others have spoken, and they have given you a lot of tips, 360-degree exposure. So I don't want to add too much to that, but just one small correction about, you know, the Vice Chancellor, the Chancellor of University of San Diego being my student. No, that is really not strictly correct. I am not that old. You know, he was 3 years my senior, Dr. Pradeep Khoshla. So, you know, we have our pleasant moments like this. And so let me try to, you know, I don't want to lengthen the discussion, because already a lot of tips have been given. As I said, 360 degrees have been covered. So if I have to say something different, then I have to go to a different plane. So what I would like to do is to just give you just a one-liner from Tagore, you know, in a translated form. Today you are going out to the new world, and there will be times where, you know, you will not be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel, right? Always have some inner eye, inner vision. That light will guide you to your goals. Je pothe jete hobe, she pothe tumi eka, noyone adhar robe, dhyane aluk rekha. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your inspiring words. Now, I would like to invite our esteemed director, Professor Virendra Kumar Tiwari, to address the gathering.
Good evening, friends. Our distinguished alumnus, Ashokda, who is there from US. Good morning, Ashokda. And those who are in US at this point of time, good morning to them and good evening to all of you here. I think a lot of things have been said about what you should be doing. Many sermons have been given by all these people, including our distinguished alumnus, Nirmal Bharadwaj as well. So I would not talk of that. I will just remind you, because in 2019, December 31st, I joined, and in 2020, you joined. So right from that time, last 4 years, I think you may recall, I had addressed you online. I remember I had addressed you online. So remember those days I was told that you will not realize how the time will pass. And I'm sure by the time you are getting out, you must have seen that how fast this time has passed. Remember the parents who were so busy to see that you go to a college. Of course, there was a COVID time and we had tough time to bring you to the institute as well. And therefore, it was not possible to bring you. But things changed after that. But remember that it was the pride of your parents, and they were so proud of you that you came to an IIT, and the first IIT of the world, and the largest alumni group that you are going to join from tomorrow. I was just wondering why we are calling Alvida, because I have heard a song which says that मेरे गीत याद रखना तुझे अलविदा ना कहना. So, but हम लोग तो अलविदा कह रहे हैं आपको. So, I would not say अलविदा. I will say that, friends, I think remember this alma mater throughout your life. I am sure that many of you have many other things to do, and this is how things go on. Life has to go on, and everybody of you must think that you are one, and you have to make a mark. I think Ashokda talked of Swamiji. Yes, this is what I also told. And I have been telling friends who are passing out that remember what Swamiji said, that wherever you go, whatever you do, make a mark and leave a mark for yourself. People will remember you. Whatever money you gain, whatever laurels you bring will not be talked of. But whatever you do and leave a mark, that will remain forever. Wishing you all the best. Thank you. And I hope that you will remember the tempo of IIT KGP. So can we remember? IIT का टेम्पो, KGP का टेम्पो, KGP का टेम्पो, KGP का टेम्पो. Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you very much, sir, for those inspiring words. And now the segment that we've all been eagerly waiting for, the reveal of the batch titles for the batch of 2024. I kindly request our Director, Deputy Director, and our Associate Dean, Alumni Affairs and International Relations, Mr. Raja Venkatraman and Mr. Nirmal Bharadwaj and all dignitaries to join us on stage to present the awards. Firstly, we introduce someone who embodies the essence of comedy mastery. Please welcome on stage for the title of Charlie Chaplin, D. Sumant. Following that, we have someone who radiates a deep wealth of knowledge. For the title of Walking Wikipedia, please welcome on stage Chanakya Gupta. Next, we have the title High on Life. Please welcome on stage Gaurav Parashar. Now, we have a person who appears to have a money tree growing right in their house. For the title Richie Rich, please welcome on stage Shubham Jaiswal. Next, we have that one person who has qualities of both Rancho and Millimeter. For the title of Jugadu of the batch, we have Akshat Sharma. Now, due to their uncanny resemblance, the award for Jian of the batch goes to Harsh Verma. I would also like to request Harsh to sing. Now, we all have that friend who is very high strung. For the title of Monica Geller, we have Simran Rawat. No, Sita. And now we have our very own social butterfly, fluttering around like they've got a VIP pass to every party in town. Please welcome on stage Aditi Ujjain. Here comes our very own leader in training, always ready to jump into the spotlight like he owns the place for the title of Neta of the Batch. Please welcome on stage Sagurti Denaraju. Here comes the swag master, strolling in like they've got a closet full of coolness hidden somewhere. Please welcome on stage Tushar Khokar. Daily gym sessions and a Diet Coke in hand when hanging out. These lines define our protein powerhouse. Please welcome on stage Aditya Tiwari. And now we have the clumsiest Peter Griffins of the batch. Please welcome on stage Utkarsh Dwivedi and Gemini Joshi. Also, Peter Griffin of the batch, Gemini Joshi. For their Oscar-worthy performances, please welcome on stage the dramatic dynamo, Arnav Bhutada. Let's two more. She rules wherever she goes. Please welcome the Queen Bee, Namya Swarankar. Please welcome the Nightingale of the batch, Abhisha Srivastav. the dignitaries can take their seats. Moving on, I would like to introduce some of the events and initiatives of Students Alumni Cell. The annual alumni meet brings our alumni a chance to reconnect with their alma mater. Homecoming lets them relive the carefree days of their college life as they get a chance to visit all the locations they once frequented. Our alumni have had a long and eventful history of giving back to the institute. The My Imprint class gift program is another chapter to be added to the legacy that the alumni leave behind. The yearbook is a dedicated volume that captures the nostalgic memories of the graduating batch of our institute. The time spent in the institute is expressed via photos and write-ups and is given as a souvenir of departure from the institute. As you all know, the yearbook portal is live and you can share your photos and testimonials. And now, with great excitement, we present the trailer of the class song of 2024, featuring joyful melodies and capturing the lively moments of your college life.
आसमां है नीला क्यों, पानी गीला गीला क्यों, गोल क्यों है जमीन, सिल्क में है नरमी क्यों, आग में है गर्मी क्यों, दो और दो पाँच क्यों नहीं, पेड़ हो गए कम क्यों, तीन है ये मौसम क्यों, चांद दो क्यों नहीं, दुनिया में है जंग क्यों, बहता लाल रंग क्यों, सरहदें हैं क्यों हर कहीं, सोचा है ये तुमने क्या कभी सोचा है कि है ये क्या सभी सोचा है, सोचा नहीं तो सोचो अभी, बहती क्यों है हर नदी, होती क्या है रोशनी, बर्फ गिरती है क्यों, दोस्त क्यों है रूठते तारे क्यों है टूटते बादलों में बिजली है क्यों, सोचा है ये तुमने क्या कभी सोचा है कि है ये क्या सभी सोचा है, सोचा नहीं तो सोचो अभी।
और ये तो सिर्फ ट्रेलर है, पिक्चर अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त।
And now we have a small dance performance. Please welcome on the stage the dancers that will be performing a small dance.
जब देखूं बनारी लाल पीली अखियां, जब देखूं बनारी लाल पीली अखियां, मैं नहीं डरता भले ही काटो अखियां, मैं नहीं डरता भले ही काटो अखियां। हजूमे दुनिया की, हजूमे गलियां की, पीठ पे लचके तेरी सुपर डुपर कमरिया, हाथ में डाले हाथ बजेंगे सारी रात, आज मिला है हमको सुपर सुपर सांवरिया। बाएं से थोड़ा बाएं से हो, आज हिला दे सारी दुनिया। जब देखूं बनारी लाल पीली अखियां, जब देखूं बनारी लाल पीली अखियां, मैं नहीं डरता भले ही काटो अखियां, मैं नहीं डरता भले ही काटो अखियां।
Thank you very much for lighting the dance floor. Now, on behalf of the Students Alumni Cell, I, Harsh, extend my heartfelt gratitude for your presence at tonight's farewell dinner, Alvida. As you bid farewell to one another, I sense a mix of emotions, sadness and nostalgia that must be running through your minds. The time you have shared together must have been filled with laughter, tears and joy, and perhaps a few challenges. Yet, through it all, you have grown and learned tremendously. Although the evening has come to a close, the night is young, and I invite you all to proceed downstairs for dinner and DJ night festivities. Thank you once again for joining us.